Today we come almost to the culmination of our season. Well, the culmination of the Premier League, our final two games in the Premier League. The big question hanging over us is, can we win the Premier League? 1, 2. Is this nearly the end of our series? I've had one comment to say, please don't. I need some more. Otherwise, it's end of series. And welcome to episode 70 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you the final two games in the Premier League this season. The big question, as I said at the start, is do we continue the series? Jay Plays has commented in the comments, and he's said please don't end the series. It's one of my favourite series of the moment. Thank you, Jay Plays. We will consider that. But I could do with some more comments. If somebody else out there is enjoying the series, please just say, no, carry on. And I will do so just for now. There is another reason why I might carry on is two, because I think we've got unfinished business here. And secondly, is I'm not quite ready to start the new series. I haven't quite formulated and put it all together yet. Don't seem to have had a lot of time. So it may well be that we roll on for one more season. We will keep, if we do another season, it will be a very short and swift, because as soon as I've got the other series ready to go, we'll be wanting to get there and get it rolling. Otherwise, we won't have a lot of time to explore the new series before FM24 comes out, will we? Because time is ticking. Believe me. Right, today then, as I said, the final two games in the Premier League. It's Fulham and Manchester City, both games at home. Fulham, our penultimate game, and then Manchester City, previous champions who won't be champions this year because it's now turned into a two-horse race. We'll look at that in just a moment. They are our opponents on the final day of the season, and we need to be getting a result against them if we are to succeed in winning the Premier League. I don't want to just win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup again this season. That would be absolutely deplorable. Since you were last with us, we have played one game only. Let's go and have a look. We played Norwich, and I'll tell you what, talk about banana skins, this could well have been it. Because if we'd drawn, it would have caused us all sorts of problems. As you can see, plenty of players not performing, and we'd had a team meeting before the match and said, you need to win this game. Nah, didn't want to do it. We've had another one, by the way. 15 shots, 3 on target, 1.88. We were lower in the XG in the first half, as you'll see. At half time we were well out of it, but we did pick up a bit in the second half, and actually when you look at the stats, the second half they didn't really get a look in. So it was just as well they scored in that verse, but we struggled to get a goal against them. 52% of the possession. They had 12 shots, 4 of which were on target, 1.13, 48% of the possession. So a third of their shots on target. We couldn't even muster a fifth of our shots on. Is that right? Five? Yeah, fifth of our shots on target. That's pretty poor doings in my book. And we've got to be a lot better than that if we are going to get this Premier League sewn up. It would be nice to do it in the next game. We'll investigate how and why we could possibly do that in just a short space of time. Fulham, our first opponents. We've played them 6 times this series. We've not lost to them yet. We've scored 17 goals for, 6 goals against, a goal difference 11. As I said, it is... all of these are potential banana skins, especially against the lower sides. Fulham not had a bad season, to be fair. If we look at the Premier League table as it stands going into these final two games, Fulham are 9th. They've had a pretty good season, and probably, if we actually have a look on history, last season they finished 14th. This season they're currently They were expected to finish 12th. They're currently 9th. Up until then, they were bobbing around between Championship and the Premier League, and obviously having spent a few seasons in Championship before that. So they've done quite well this season, and we don't want them to do any better. Not today, anyway. Our arch rivals and nemesis, Liverpool, they are playing Leicester in their penultimate game. Do they play... Who do they play on the final day of the season? They play Bournemouth away from home. I would expect them to win that. Bournemouth already relegated. This could be the one. Leicester are chasing. I don't think they can get into a European place, that's for sure. But they can finish higher than Fulham if they win today. It just depends on how much they've got thinking for them and whether they want to succeed. Well, in fact, they've got 2 games down, haven't they? 6-57 still won't do it. But Manchester United and Tottenham fighting for that last European place. So they need to be on a reasonable form for that. Right. I don't think there's anything else to tell you apart from we did have a bit of a scare. Did we not? I must have been dreaming that. Ignore me. I'm dreaming. I've been asleep since we did the last episode. Right, let's get on with it then. Fulham are first up, and as I say, it's looking like this at the top of the table. Liverpool have gone a little bit wonky. Let's hope they continue wonky today. Out of their last 5, they've won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1. We've won our last 5 on the trot. Manchester City, who have been champions, can't win it this year. They are off form. They've drawn 1, lost 2 and won 2 in their last 5. So it's up to us really today. We need to get a result today and then take it to the last day of the season. Hope Liverpool slip up today, and at least we'll know what we've got to do going into the final game of the season. On the basis that Bournemouth almost certainly will beat Liverpool, we need to make sure that 2 points today is there, because at the end of the day, that will then decide what we need to do on the final day. And anything, I think if we both win today, it comes down to final day of the season. And as long as we don't lose against Manchester City, which is a tall order, as long as we don't lose to them, then I think we will be guaranteed on goal difference, if nothing else, as champions of the Premier League. Let's hope we can do that. Let's get today out of the way first and see if we can beat Fulham. Let's have a look at the team that will face Fulham. And here is the team that will face Fulham for this penultimate Premier League game. It's Carnasechi in goal, Chilwell, Koulibaly, Timber and James. Our defensive line, Koulibaly and Timber building up quite a rapport in that central defence there. Fernandes and Kante in front of the back four. Rodrigo, Havertz and Sterling sitting behind. Matthias Tell, who leads the attack today. Mendy in substitute goalkeeper on the bench. Garcia, Savic, Mount, Cucurella, Otavio, Barbosa, Fofana and Kovacic. Well, I hope you're sitting comfortably for this one, because it is a ding-donger. Marco Silva, manager at Fulham, and the team that will face us are Lafont in goal, Robinson, Mings, Diop and Adrebeo are the defensive line. Palanina and Reed are the defensive midfielders, or midfielders, whichever, I'm not sure. Alfredo, Lindstrom and Wilfried Zaha are the attacking midfield, with Mitrovic leading the attack. On the bench we have Leno, Tete, Skov, Ramazani, Pereira, Iwo, Ibose, Daikahabi and Mababu. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how we line up them. Very similar lineups. Let's see if we can get a result against Fulham. Not much doing for the first 25 minutes, but we do have a highlight. Liverpool have gone one up against Leicester is also in the news. Koulibaly. So a win is a must. Chilwell through to Rodrigo. Rodrigo's chipped the goalkeeper and puts away his 13th goal of the season. It's 1-0 after 26 minutes. I think it's 26 minutes. It'll either be 25 or 26. Koulibaly to Chilwell. Chilwell, lovely ball over the top into the path of Rodrigo. Rodrigo chipping the goalkeeper. It's actually 25 minutes just inside. Question of offside, I think. No, miles onside. Look at that. And Fulham have the next highlight. Time to see what Liverpool were doing. And they're coming forward. Lindstrom has a shot, but it's been deflected straight into the arms of Karnasechi. And they have a free kick now. Lindstrom with the free kick. Havertz heads it clear. Sterling tidies up, but he's tackled. And Fulham not going to give up without a fight here. And push them back for now. One over the top. And now Valdo. It's all come back off the post. There's a bit of luck. And half-time comes. No more highlights. 6 shots, 3 on target, 50%, 0.53, 59% of the possession. Fulham have had 4 shots, just 1 on target. Slightly better XG than us after that first half. 41%. We need to be careful in the second half. At least a couple more goals, I would suggest. Liverpool leading at half-time by 1-0. So as far as the table is concerned, we still keep that 2-point lead at the moment. And also goal difference remains the same at 11. So we're okay going into the final game. It would be good to get Leicester to equalise. But yeah, Manchester United need to beat Manchester City as well. And they're 2 goals down at half-time in their quest for a European spot. And they haven't got it yet. And 52 minutes on the clock. We have our first highlight of the second half, and it is a Fulham highlight, or it was until Rodrigo decided he was going to have a go and straight into the arms of Lafont. Free kick to Fulham. Scoff swings it in and saved by Karnasechi, but it was a bit unwieldy, and James clears that into touch. Alvarado crosses this ball. Chilwell heads it clear, but not clear. Rodrigo doing a fantastic job today, not only defending but also on the attack. Has Havertz inside him. Havertz all bobbled around and tackled by 2 players. Kante cuts that out in midfield. He's got Chilwell outside him. Koulibaly, Kante again over the top. This time Havertz, and he puts away his 30th goal of the season to level up with Matthias Tel as the top scorer, and we go 2-0 up after 67, and hopefully that's put it to bed. And Rodrigo's picked up an injury now. Oh, he's playing so well. It's a potential arm injury. What does that mean? That's annoying. So annoying. Oh, right, we got Mason Mount on the bench who can play left or right. Or we can move Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling prefers to play on the left as an inverted winger. So let's move him left as that inverted winger. And then what we'll do, change that to inverted winger. On attack, and then Rodrigo's going to come off. We're going to bring on Barbosa. Bring on Barbosa, and he's come on last match and did an absolute wonder job out there, creating what turned out to be the winner for Matthias Tel. So hopefully he can do the same again. Ben Chilwell getting tired again. I'm thinking we'll go about another 5 minutes and we'll come back for a change. You may see a highlight, you may not. And with 76 minutes on the clock, having made that enforced change, Rodrigo coming off with an injured arm a little bit earlier. and bringing on Barbosa, having had a switch around. What we've done now is Ben Chilwell, usual switch. Chilwell for Cucurella on that back left-hand side. Mateus Tell has come off, moved Havertz up into the attacking role. Mount has come in as the attacking playmaker. And Jurgen Timber, he's come off in central defence. Not having a good day there in central defence. But we've brought Fofana on in his place. And we've got one change left to make. And a highlight, 85 minutes nearly on the clock. And somebody had a nibble then. And James heads it straight back into the path of whoever. Koulibaly clears it to Sterling. And with 86 minutes on the clock, our final change, Reece James coming off for Eric Garcia at the right wing-back position. They are all our changes. And absolutely no more highlights in that second half. Can tell you that Leicester did equalise against Liverpool. But a minute after they equalised, Liverpool got a second goal. I'm not sure what happened after that, whether they managed to get back on level terms. We will find out in just a moment if they have. We don't know about it as it stands at the moment. Fulham, 6 shots, 2 on target, 0.95, 38% of the possession. We had 11 shots, 6 on target, hit our 50%, 0.91, 62% of the possession. A bit of a dour second half, but we did the job. We did what we needed to do. And as a finish for the day, we've got that win. And at the very least, we will stay 2 points in front of Liverpool going into the final game of the season. And there it is, confirmation that Liverpool did beat Leicester by 2-1. Firmino and Elliott, the scorers. As I said, Samari equalised after 75 minutes. It looked like it might be a draw, but Harvey Elliott had other ideas, scoring almost immediately from there. And it's a 2-1 win for Liverpool. It does mean that we have that 2-point advantage over them. Manchester City, last season's champions, beating Manchester United, and they may have stopped Manchester United from getting a European place, which they won't be too happy about. The boys on the other side of the city, a comprehensive 3-0 win. Haaland from the penalty spot after 10. Marino after 29 and Grealish after 78. That is how it's ended. Tottenham beating Newcastle, which means there's a 2-point gap. In fact, 3-point gap between them and Manchester United, but Everton and Arsenal. Everybody played 37. It's down to the final day of the season. And who is going to win the title? And bad news, Rodrigo is out for the rest of the season and potentially into the early part of next season as well. He's out for 5 to 6 weeks. He's got torn wrist ligaments, injured in a tackle or injured tackling, whichever way you look at it. But he was having a good game up until then. That was a shame. So never mind. He's had a good season and he's scored some goals and done some wonder things. We could have done with him though for the final game of the season and against Liverpool, but we will be without him in this situation. And so it is, a 38-game Premier League season comes down to the final game of the season against Manchester City. And a win or a draw will see us crowned as Premier League champions. If we lose, it really does down to Liverpool. But as I've said before, I think we've got to work on the basis that Liverpool will win their match. And so a draw is the minimum that we require from this last day. As you can see, it's a 2-horse race. It's 2 points in it going into this last game. Liverpool have won their last 3, drawn 1 and lost 1 in their last 5 games. That lost to Brentford 5 games back now. We've won our last 5. In fact, we may have won our last 6 in the Premier League. I'll check it out in just a moment. But it's been pretty tuck and tail all season for this top spot. Let's have a quick look if we can. Past positions, that's what we want. Chelsea, there you go. We were on top for a great wodge of the season, then dropped off a little bit. and then have been back on top, vying with Liverpool. And as you see, pretty much from this point in the season here, 14 games in, it's been between us and Liverpool, realistically, as we've headed into that part of the season. As I say, Manchester City, I think, did start early doors up top, but they dropped down to third, and that's where they've been pretty much from game 14 as well. So, pretty much the pattern that it's been in, and the top three. That's how it's been. Wolves been not any lower than 7th, so they've had a good season. But we'll look at all that detail when we get into the end of season review. But that's how it all stacks up today. That big match against Manchester City, Blackburn, Liverpool, Wolves, Fulham, Arsenal, Middlesbrough, Liverpool and Everton are the sides that have beaten them. They've won 3 of their last 5, lost 1 and drawn 1 in their last 5. So that's how it's looking. Let's do no more than go and have a look at the side then that will face Manchester City in this final game of the season. We've played them 8 times to date, won 4, drawn 2 and lost 2. Both those games that we've lost, one was in the Community Shield. The other game was at the Etihad. Last season we did quite a good job on them, really. We beat them in the FA Cup 5th round, comprehensively, should I say. We also beat them in the Premier League and the Carabao Cup final. I beat them home and away in the Premier League last season, and I think might have had them on the last day of the season a couple of seasons ago, and it was a 1-1 draw on that occasion. Let's hope that we can get that or better today. Let's have a look at the team then that will face Manchester City in our final game of the Premier League season. And the side that will face Manchester City then, it's Carnesecchi in goal, Cucurella, who's in for Chilwell. Not sure why Chilwell's on the bench, but he is. Timber, Fofana and James are the rest of the defensive line. Kante plays as the defensive midfielder, then Kovacic and Savic playing in front of him, with Sterling and Koeman as our wide players. Havertz leads the attack. It's Mendy, Koulibaly, who had picked up an injury, but he seems fit enough, but maybe not to start. Otavio, Tell, Chilwell, Fernandes, Barbosa, Garcia and Mount, all on the bench for this one. And here we are against Manchester City. This is the side that we are playing against. And I think danger all over the pitch. It's just full of it, isn't it? Stefan in goal then. It's Castagna, Laporte, Diaz and Cancelo are the defensive line. Rodri playing as the defensive midfielder with that man De Bruyne, who's always a bit of a troublesome player. Silva in midfield alongside him. It's Jack Grealish out on the left, Rafinha out on the right, and the monster up front that is Erling Haaland. Pep Guardiola has chosen the bench to look like this: Ederson, Stones, Pedro, Delap, Pemberton, Woba, Aki, Akanji and Marino. That is the side that will face us going into this one. And our first highlight just 2 minutes in, and it was a throw-in from Manchester City, but Savic cut it out. And Cucurella, Kovacic, Sterling over the top looking for Koeman. Koeman has found it. Koeman, he's trying to get it in, but saved from the goalkeeper. Cancelo on that far side. We're not even 5 minutes in. And one over the top. Oh, Grealish is there. It's crossed it deep. Cancelo and outside the area, that fault. And it's a goal. Erling Haaland, 44th goal of the season. The monster is at it. And Carnasechi with a goal kick to Cucurella. Timber finds Kante, Timber. Oh, and who was that? It was Sterling was robbed. And Bernardo Silva comes back. And Manchester City come forward again. Grealish on this far side. Grealish, who supplied for Haaland last time. And Sergi trying to get in there. And Savic has won it. Good boy. Kante. Oh, no! What a back pass. And they're all over him, but it's still alive. James. Goodness me, I thought we were in for trouble then. Havertz. Can we get back on? Oh. And De Bruyne with a free kick. Swings it in. Rodrigo straight into the arms of Carnasechi. Gratefully received that. Highlight continues. James. Oh, you. And Reece James, a bad mistake, and Grealish making big profit off it. Carnasechi to James. James tried to Fofana, and Grealish was in. No more highlights, thankfully, in that first half. We're 2 down at half-time. Not what we wanted. Haaland after 4 minutes. Grealish after 27. We've looked very lacklustre. 10 shots, 3 on target. To be honest, we're not. They've had 10 shots, 4 on target. We are slightly better on the XG. 1.17 against a 1.14. They've had more possession. If we could just win more of that possession. Not totally out of it. It's just that they've put away their chances. We haven't. But there is a bonus at the moment, and I'm not holding my heart that that's going to how it's going to stay. But Bournemouth are leading Liverpool by a 1-0, which means if it stays as it is, we would still win the title by 2 points. But I'm not holding it close to my thing. We need to get 2 goals back and at least get a draw in the second half. Our first highlight of the second half, 47 minutes in. It's Manchester City goal kick. And team have had a good talking to at half time. And ball out, Sterling sorts that one out. Timber, well tracked back by Sterling. It's found Cucurella on the overlap. It's swung in. It's gone over the top. Another goal kick by Manchester City. Silva back to Stefan Laporte. Rodrigo. Fofana. Kovacic over the top looking for Koeman. Yes! And it's Savic getting one back for us. That's the way to do it. 56 minutes on the clock, and that's a bit more like it. Kovacic, lovely ball over the top. Koeman gets there. Inside, and Savic heads it into the corner. And with, just that goal just being scored, 57 minutes on the clock, we have taken off Wesley Fofana, who's not having a good game. We really did give him a pump up at half-time. He's had 10 minutes to try and pick things up, but he's not really improved any. So Eric Garcia is on for him, but I expect Eric Garcia to go out for Reece James very shortly, which means Koulibaly will come on and Timber will move over into where Garcia is. Expect that change coming in the not too distant future, but in the meantime, we need to try and get back on level terms. Throwing on the far side, Castagna back to Laporte. And it's been nibbled at by Kante, and Kante's in. Has a shot from distance, and that wasn't far away. Cucurella with a free kick now. Inside to Kovacic. Kovacic looking for the runner Sterling, but Sterling was not wise to it, or not very quick. Garcia now. Careful. Back to Carnasechi. Timber to Kante. Kovacic. Garcia. James. Kante. Koeman was tackled, but it's come through. Savic inside. Havertz! And we are back on level terms. It's 2-2 with 66 minutes on the clock. And I've got some other news for you. Last time I looked, Bournemouth were beating Liverpool by 2-0. How did that happen? Savic and Havertz pops up. It's there. And we're back on level terms, boys and girls. A free kick now. Havertz with the free kick. Chips it in. It's headed clear. Sterling's not tall enough to get there, but he's going to pick it up. Sterling back to Kovacic. Kovacic out to Koeman. It's inside Havertz. Havertz in the post. He's come back on the post. And we are 3-2 up. Oh, this is a turnaround and a half. Whatever I said to them at half-time, I'll tell you what. In the team talk regime, it was a kick up the arse, basically. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. I'll probably get a warning. And with 71 minutes on the clock, we've made 2 more changes. Reece James, as I prophesied, he's come off. He's not had a bad game. He's come off, and we've brought on Koulibaly. Koulibaly moves into central defence. Garcia moves out on the right. Timber moves over to the right side of the centre of defence. And Raheem Sterling also tired out. He's put in quite a shift. And he's been replaced by Otavio in that attacking role down there. He's better as an inverted winger, so we will make him an inverted winger in attack. The other thing we could do is, in fact, I think that was a support role, wasn't it, on that side? So we go for support, and we're going to make Koeman as an inside forward on the right-hand side there. They're the changes for the moment. We've still got 2 to make. And with 82 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 1 more change. Sorry, 2 more changes. We're going to make our final changes. Barbosa's come in on the right for the tired Kingsley Koeman, who's had a good game out there today, I have to say. Matthias Tell, he likes the big game, I think, Koeman. Matthias Tell has come in on the left side. We've taken off Kante, and Savic has dropped back from that attacking playmaker role, who done very well in that role today. He's dropped back into the midfield now, and Otavio moves over into the attacking playmaker role. Can we see this game out? 88 minutes on the clock. Woba gets that ball forward to Grealish. You have to be careful here. The man Haaland is off. That's here. Cucurella heading that clear. Matthias Tell, Kovacic, but Kovacic loses it in the tackle. Oh, and lovely shot straight into the arms of Karnaseci. 6 minutes of injury time. We are in the first minute of. Lost the ball. Rafinha now. Rafinha's in space. He's had a shot, but it's gone well wide. Just going to stop it there for a second before the highlight runs out. Just to tell you, Bournemouth are still beating Liverpool by 2-0 as it stands. So we have won this by 5 points, I think. But the other point is we're expecting a trophy lift if the result stays as it is through to the end of full time. We are in the first minute of 6 added minutes. And it's all over. We have won the Premier League. Something that we thought might elude us. And coming into this final day, what a result we've got from them today. And I'll tell you what, really did give them a pacing at half-time. And they responded wholeheartedly. We are Premier League champions, boys and girls. And it may be the way to end the series. The only thing that's eluded us is the Champions League. 3-2. Who's going to do the who's going to do the cartwheel? That's the question. Number 9. Oh no, number 17. And there we are. Confirmation of a 3-2 win against Manchester City on the final day. 2-0 at half-time. We were despondent, but I'm not kidding you. What a second half that was. They had 13 shots, 5 on target, 1.46, 55% of the possession. We had 26 shots, 8 on target, 3.75 on the XG, 45% of possession. Goals from Savic after 56, Havertz after 66 and 68, winning the game for us and the Premier League. And Liverpool did get a goal back through Núñez a minute into injury time at the end of the second half, but it wasn't enough. Bournemouth beat Liverpool by 2-1. We had nothing to worry about. I don't think so. 5 points clear of Liverpool in the end to be champions of the Premier League. Manchester City in third on 77 points. We were some 16 points clear of them in the end. I think that's right. Yeah. Wolves then 10 points down again on 67. Everton on 65. Arsenal on 63. Tottenham also on 63. Manchester United on 63. 3 teams there. It's all come down to goal difference to decide who's playing in Europe next year and who's not. Bournemouth, Blackburn and Burnley relegated for a couple of games now. But they're down. And that leaves us with 1 game left to play in this season. 8 games unbeaten in the Premier League for the end of the season gave us the momentum to win the title. And, let's hope that momentum carries on into the FA Cup final against Liverpool. It would be absolutely wonderful for the first time for some time to actually beat Liverpool. In fact, way back in the Champions League semi-final first leg. But we've never beaten them at Wembley as far as I'm aware. We lost 4-1 in the FA Cup semi-final. In fact, that's the only time we've played them at Wembley. But our recent history against Liverpool is not a good one. We've only beaten them twice so far in this series from 9 games. So it doesn't bode well. But let's make that 3, shall we? And finish off the season with a triple. It would be rather splendid. Join me for that one. It's our final game of the season. Will it be of the series? You need to leave me a comment below if you want this series to continue. Because if we do win the FA Cup, the only thing we haven't won is the Champions League. And maybe we come back for one final season to win that. Even if we don't win anything else, win that. And I have won everything whilst I've been at Chelsea. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up. It's been a fantastic episode, really, hasn't it? Subscribe and hit the notification button. That's keep you up here to date with all future episodes of this for however long it goes on. Any new series that we release once this series is finished, and also my other series, of course. To Be a Legend, I've forgotten what it was called then for a minute, with Buxton. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud are released every Tuesday and Friday normally, but obviously if the series comes to an end, then it will finish on Tuesday, will be our final episode Tuesday next week. And if you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It will be the FA Cup final against our nemesis of the series, Liverpool. Join me for that on Friday. Until then, I wish you a good week. Bye-bye.